I see no good people now, 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 now. Hi, good morning. I'm trying to get around the fact that my usual microphone is not working and doing it with my Mac. Flexibility is the hallmark of being a Homo sapien. And what doesn't seem to work, then we have to adapt and think, employ the use of our brains to formulate different scenarios, different possibilities, potential. That's what we do in meditation and mindfulness. So it's all related. Further to that is how we perceive. That's the tail end of it. The front of it, the front end of it is, how do you perceive this something breaking? It could be your tire getting a flat. It could be my microphone. How do you respond to what happens? How do you react? It boils down to what one's perspective is when you're coming into this situation. How wide is your perspective? Instead of reacting, you more consciously be a witness to what's occurring. Begin to look for a better understanding. As mentioned a moment ago, possibilities or potential for shifting. One's allowing, one's accepting, one's flexibility. So you see where these core elements come in and become more and more important. Do I react and say, oh, my microphone broke? Wow, what a bummer. Or do we say, wow, my microphone's not working. Let me keep working with it and trying to make it work. Something's crazy here. It was working and now it's not working. And looking online, just wondering what you can do, and then coming to accept that things aren't working right. Then let's call the manufacturer and look for more information. Let's troubleshoot it, and then let's get a replacement ASAP. You can have either one of these responses or reactions are appropriate in some sense. Which one do you think is more productive? Which one leaves me, in this instance, with a better feeling that I don't have to go through angst because of a sense of acceptance and just saying, wow, being objective, being an observer, and widening the context of what's occurring. This is what we mean when we forget our meditation. If someone is saying to us, as I like to say, follow your breathing and, keep following it and putting your hands together and feeling your pulse and your warmth and your energy, and you forget all about it and you're thinking about something else altogether, and then you come back and you go, wait a minute, this breath and my hands and where have I been? Whoa, am I now bad? No. Did you fail in what you were attempting to do? No. It's all part of life's lessons. We stumble many times before we learn to walk, before we learn to speak. How many times do we stumble? It's okay. In seeding ourselves with seeds of virtue into our minds, into our souls, with a sense of improving ourselves through acquiring characters and qualities or virtues that are improving in nature, being more organized, stronger, being more patient. You then are building up a base of tools. And rather than react, in quotes, one responds with a wider platform of tools, available because one has seeded themselves with self-affirmations, seeds of improvement. This is important for one to do. Taking this direction all of a sudden opens up even more lanes and roads and avenues and currents and directions, because everything becomes less painful. You don't reject, you don't set oneself back from something, but you can view it and you can even seek it out to understand it better, to experience more, that you might learn more, because the responses are not negative. They aren't counterproductive. They're positive. And they're filled with curiosity and the interest to learn. This is what mindfulness is for. There's a reason for people pursuing these tools, meditation and state of mind, being more mindful. You know, we're not so different than what we're talking about with artificial intelligence in the assimilating of data points to increase our experience and ability to change the course of how we're going to respond to things. It's the same thing, right? They're talking about all these neural networks and such like that. That's the same thing going on in our own brains. We're learning through the way that we're manipulating the energy that's entering our consciousness. In mindfulness, we're determining what the conduit is that we're facilitating to this learning process. And that's the beauty about it, is that we can do so many things to help ourselves be better vessels of the data that we're accumulating on a moment-by-moment basis, 86,400 times every day. There's a lot of data in our heads. Okay? Bundle of miracles, there's a lot going on. Thinking of which, let's think about our awareness. Let's think about our sensitivities. Let's think about our receptivity to everything that we can fathom. Being comfortable, being undisturbed, being in an environment where we can take advantage of our own depth of perception. What are we thinking of now? As you linger in these moments and your mind says, yeah, what's going on right now? Allowing oneself just to firstly be calm and secure and know that whatever you're doing, it's just fine, as long as it's not harmful. You know, I'm saying common sense. Feeling the surface of your skin, aware of the density of the air that is surrounding us, its warmth or coolness, its flowing or lack of a current. Feeling a receptivity, the hair, the cilia of our skin, swaying gently. Feeling beneath our skins in everything that we're doing now. $86,400 moments. How many moments do you have securely tucked away in your mind. 86,400 images, data packages, sounds, colors, textures, everything in each moment. When we call ourselves bundles of miracles, it's good to listen up. And it's good to ask yourself, what am I saying about myself? What's going on here with these words, with this symbology that I'm creating by expressing these terms? You have an unfathomable amount of knowledge in your head, your DNA, and we don't even know very much. Remembering our sense of humility, how little we know. If we perceive only 1,000th of 1% of the viability, the energy of the electromagnetic spectrum, then how much more is there to know? I would venture a guess that quite a bit. 100,000 is our range of perception of this energy. Think in. Feeling one's heart inside. Is it there? Can you find it? Can you please report to yourself your heart, your heart's pulse, your awareness? Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, feeling the warmth of your body, of your core, finding that there is heat emanating from your body, that you have an orangey red glow, and that you are communicating to the entirety of the universe as best you can in every direction through all that energy that we spoke just a moment ago about, that we don't understand, we don't perceive, we don't have any idea about what's going on. The depth of the universe is that we are all made of the same thing. It may be twisted and folded and this and that a million, billion, trillion, quadrillion ways to have evolution proceed and arrive at your doorstep today, with all the variations of being that there are. But yet we hardly know anything at all. Less than 10,000 years are we aware of our evolution, of our civilization, of our cultures, our ways of social being, cooperation, communication, best compromise and collaboration. So finding in yourself, in your core, even in your fingers when you put them together, the warmth of your being, and ask yourself, where does this come from? Where does this issue forth? And know that it's from your blood, from your muscular activity, through your breathing, through your digestion. Your body is a glow, feeling your shimmering being. Your whole body is ecstatically embracing life, 24 hours, 7 days a week, ecstatically embracing life, feeling this now. Your toes, your nose, your ears, your eyes, your cheeks, your fingers, feeling deep inside. We are here now, bundles of miracles. with the perspective that we're sharing from the length of creation, 14 plus billion years, Homo sapiens, the development of life on our planet, 3.5 billion years. With this understanding, with this knowledge, this comprehensive, this sense of experience of what's occurred, a sense of awe, of reverence, of amazement at everything, everywhere, in every way. This is a sense of humility, being born in each moment that we think in this way, and being appreciative, being here, now, a bundle of miracles, humbled by the immensity of creation, and thankful for the ability to think and ponder. Namaste.